suppose it's only appropriate. It is their 10th show, so.
That is true.
So OTT Contenders International Invasion, which took place last Sunday at the Ringside Club in the National Stadium. Again, we always say it, Contenders shows are always the ones that deliver.
True. This one had been, I'll be honest, a little bit under the radar, especially for myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there was nothing in terms of... Because there's nothing around it.
Well...
normally there's... how can I say? There's normally...
I'm struggling to get where you're coming from.
There's normally maybe a show on the night before.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't have to have that, does it?
I know, no, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It stood on its own perfectly and it did fantastic. And I love the show. It's probably actually my favourite Contender show that I've watched or been to.
They're always to deliver,
Been to, Darren. Been to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're having...
Yeah. Been to.
Yeah, just reminding the guys from Morton Type who had a go at you on the Prediction League video. If you haven't checked out our Prediction League video, where we previewed NXT Chicago and Money in the Bank, we had Nathan, LJ and Darren, and Darren and LJ in particular had to go at yourself in that period at enough events.
Yeah.
Or at least in comparison to myself, who's there most of the time. So
yeah. Look, it's well established. I defended you. I don't go to Tivoli shows if I can't get a seat because I'm a very small lad, and there will always be someone bigger standing in front of me.
How tall are you, by the way? Again.
5'6", 5'7".
I'm only 4 or 5 inches taller than you.
That's an important 4 or 5 inches, Dave.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have to be on my tippy toes to watch it if I am in this situation. If I'm honest.
So that's why I don't go to Tivoli shows. Been at the last 2 Fight Factory shows. Didn't go to Cabra last week because we were actually recording at the time.
Yeah, well, that's perfectly valid.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not going to keep defending myself. I go to the shows. And I was front row on Sunday, like I said I would be.
Yes, and that seat, and I saved. Actually, that seat was there. I didn't even save it.
You did. Thought you were going to say I saved that seat for you.
No, I admit it. That I got crowded by the time you came in, and you came in like during their entrances of the first match.
Yes.
So
yeah, I got there like at 4:05 or something like that.
Yeah, and it was almost like a main event style match to start off. It was Jordan Devlin, Nathan Martin and Scotty Davis in a triple threat match. What I love about the triple threat matches that you see in shows like this is that they all try and do moves around the 3 of them. Mm-hmm. It's like either it's not just tag team moves against each other, it's like one person that would affect the other 2.
Yeah.
So I can't remember all the sequences, but I think they had double submissions, for example, like at one stage. I don't know, I think they had there's one case where Jordan, I think, had like a half an SCF whilst having the other one on the abdominal stretch.
Yeah.
And also had Scotty having his Rings of Saturn on both Nathan and Jordan. That was class, actually.
Yeah.
But even the use of strikes and stuff like that as well. And when you consider, again, this is probably the current of Irish wrestling against the future of Irish wrestling. It's a very symbolic match in that case, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's the current... Because you wouldn't even say the past with Jordan. He's the current against the future with these 2, and you could just both 17.
Nathan Martin is in the middle. Is not even finished his leaving.
I think he's
yet.
finished now.
Is he finished now?
I think he's finished now. Yeah.
He just finished his leaving cert.
Yeah, he just finished his leaving cert.
Yeah, hope he did well, by the way.
Then, by the way, I was listening to shout out to Justy's podcast, this Madness Pantomime. I listened to the latest episode. Class podcast. And he was talking to Dmitry Krakovic. 17.
Seriously?
17. Just finished his leaving cert as well.
Oh my god. Another one we can add to
Justin Daniels, 14.
Who? Don't recall that name. I'm only joking.
Blacklisted.
I know.
Blacklisted.
I'm only joking.
Oh, sorry, I had a lapse of concentration there. That's the hay fever's fault.
Yeah, well, listen,
Blacklisted. I will never make that mistake again. Blacklisted.
I thought you forgot. I thought you turned the page with that. But okay, fair enough. But again, none of we can put into discussing the young category is Dimitri now. So
Fabio as well, 15.
You get me annoyed. You get me worked up now. Jordan won this match anyway by package pile driving Nathan for the win. And after the match, then Jordan acknowledged first of all his participation in the WWE UK tournaments.
Yep.
Well, obviously, we didn't report that this week for obvious reasons. It was spoiled on everybody.
Yeah. Don't you?
I know some stuff.
You know the obvious stuff that WWE reported.
I tried to avoid it, but
tag match.
That's one thing I know.
Yeah.
But I think
because WWE reported that. That's public knowledge.
Well, to be fair, I can understand why they might have done that, but it's kind of weird. That's another thing. Why would they spoil their own stuff?
This is the problem with pre-recording this stuff. It gets out.
Here's the problem. I think
it got out, and then they couldn't cover it anymore. They had to.
But I think they're so sly now that they're like, oh no, if anyone's going to spoil, let's expect these internet trolls. We'll spoil it on ourselves.
But they'd already done it.
No, but the point is, they'd rather get the views and the listens and the likes on YouTube rather than anybody else over their own stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but when you say that we'll spoil it on ourselves, you get into this like Homer Simpson territory.
You mean when he says something like
stupider like fucks?
Exactly.
I don't know if I get this aggressive about it, but
no, WWE are that aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they're more tenacious than that. But I see what you mean. But yeah, but that's the thing. Like they'd rather spoil it on themselves because they'd rather have the hits, they'd rather have the likes, they'd rather have the followers rather than all these internet people who do like channels and stuff like that.
But the thing is,
like
the reason why they're stupider like a fox was it already had gotten out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
so
already
if anyone was
out,
to let it go out, it's them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
sly as hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that. Anyway, and also Jordan Devlin challenged Mark Haskins then to a title match at the Tivoli, which was later confirmed. I think it was on Monday it was confirmed for that, so it's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, really, really good match. I wonder if they would pull a certain type of booking I have in my head.
What's that?
Jordan wins, like via a roll-up or something like that.
Right.
Mark Haskins batters him, and then cashes in again.
Well,
a straight rematch, like straight away.
Well, is his contract being part of this match? That's what I've done.
No,
it isn't.
No.
He's just number contender straight out. Weird. I thought it had something to do with the contract being number contender, but that would actually be clever booking as well. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Amy Alonzi took on Raven Creed. Now, post-match, they had Raven Creed seeming to bully Alonzi at the back before Martina stood up for her and then advised Amy to stand up for herself. So we haven't seen...
Pre-match, not post-match.
Pre-match, that's what I meant, sorry. It was a good story to the match, like with Amy being scared of Raven despite chance of stale hair, no fans from the crowds.
You mean from Nathan?
Well, it started from Nathan.
It was Nathan who made that up. That was brilliant.
Very impressive moveset from both ladies. Like, you know, like Raven Creed is an awesome wrestler anyway, but Amy has improved so much, hasn't she?
Yeah, the stint that she's been having down with wrestling.ie has been fantastic for her.
Yeah.
She's really improved, and I'm obviously training too. Really, really good. And great to see, and hopefully now much more matches, maybe even a little feud between those two for the next while.
It actually
could work.
Actually, a feud that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
like especially with Raven getting the win now, and maybe it's almost like
it could help Amy evolve into a member of the roster as well by actually getting the win over Raven.
Her character is very similar to Bayley, like in a way that she's so babyface and she doesn't want to harm anybody. But maybe she'll get more tenacious as it goes on and wanting to eventually beat Raven, like, you know. So
true.
In this case, though, it was Raven who beat Amy with the backstabber, but it was a very good outing from her, so I can't wait to check her out again, whether it's against Raven or not. Now, the Armstrongs took on Rough Stuff in a tag team match. Very fun. This is a brilliant match. It's actually a very funny match.
Second funniest.
It's obviously second funniest, but it was bad. But give it its due. Like, it was actually an awesome match. So a few other spots that they did from their match in CCW as well. They did the pec flip again.
The pec
the pec flip or the pec drag. Sorry,
no, it was the pec trap.
Pec drag.
Pec trap because he trapped his finger inside his pecs.
But he dragged him like an arm drag. Therefore,
after that,
he
did. Yeah. Okay, so pec drag then.
Yeah, and see, they also did like when Butch was not in the octopus stretch. He had him stuck in and was working the hands and stuff like that. But no, it was really
and he got
good.
Foxy in a headlock as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Butch and CT's sequences were particularly funny as well. Like, but I didn't expect the ukulele at the end. So did you?
Well, I didn't, but I saw why.
Made sense
because of the whole like song call-outs,
song contest call-outs.
Yeah, for the last while.
Or call-out contests.
Yeah.
There you go. But like, but it was really ironic when it ended that way. Like when Rough Stuff hit Marion with it before finishing him off for the win. So I think
was it the look both ways? That's what they call their finisher?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, but I think this sets up Rough Stuff now as a heel tag team in OTT, because I think in their last outing against the who they against again? It was the Kings of the North. They sort of walked away like not.
They shook hands at the end to sort of like signify that both teams are sort of
they respected each other. Yeah. But there wasn't like there wasn't any heel tendencies from Rough Stuff that you would have seen from CCW or any other place they would have wrestled. So in this case, I think they've now set the nail down as a heel tag team, which I think is good. But who knows, down the line, either of them or the Armstrongs could be in the Tivoli or the main show or wherever they end up going to the main show, so we'll have to see what happens there. Now, Dan McGee took on Curtis Murray. Now, of course, this match was supposed to be Dan McGee versus Michael May, but Michael May picked up a shoulder injury and was had to be replaced by Curtis Murray.
Yeah, I think it was the at the Cabra show, wasn't it? That it happened.
Oh, was it?
I think so, the night before.
That's unlucky.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a solid match then between McGee and Murray. A bit of miscues here and there, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think more from Murray's part, like, because like we have to consider his offense sometimes when he uses the ropes. That it's like something like that, like one eye off the ball, and then you're all over the place. Like sometimes he took a really bad bump, I think, where his leg landed onto the apron. Yeah, and I thought he hurt himself for a while after that. So. And because it's Curtis, because we've seen him badly injured before, the wrestle pops and show in particular thinking, "Oh, please be careful, please be careful, please be careful."
Yeah,
like he's one of those guys you're kind of like when he does something high risk. Like, you know, there's some guys you trust doing it, but I don't think. I hate to say this about Murray because he's an excellent wrestler, but I think he's one of these guys who we still have to get used to him doing all this safely, like, or 100% safely. And he probably does it 99.9% all the time, but we still see that 0.1%. Do you know what I mean?
Well, look. This is why it's Contenders. It's like a building ground for them. It's these can make their mistakes here.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's all right for them to do this because they're still trying to perfect their own technique. Because these guys are still green. They're still young. So
it's supposed to be harsh, I suppose.
Yeah, it's well. Look, you call it as you see it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be like quick to sort of say like he needs to calm down and stuff like that.
I never said that.
No, I didn't say you did.
No,
I didn't say you did. God, Dave, very defensive tonight. Very defensive.
It's a hay fever,
you know. God, so defensive.
Okay.
Wow.
You're gonna keep going on about it.
Wow.
It ended when Murray got the springboard cut from McGee. You know, you're just as bad as I am. I think I blame the hay fever for you too.
Wow.
Should we wow about probably the funniest match ever? It's not even funny.
I know it's not, but I'm just delirious right now.
So let's talk about something that is funny.
Let's do this.
That was very funny. This is Cheap Tropicana versus More Than Hype, LG Clear and Darren Carney against Martina and Chantal Martel. This is probably the funniest match. Here's the thing.
It's the match I've enjoyed most, I think, in Irish wrestling.
Ever? Wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the funniest, probably the funniest matches I've ever seen. I compared this. I've talked to so many people about this over the since.
Yeah.
Compared this match to the 5-man, 6-man, 5-man match at OTT.
Yeah.
Between British Strong Style and Angel
Tyler
Cruisers.
Spate and yeah.
And this match, I think, is just edging it. If I'm honest with you, it was like a Gaeltacht disco because everyone from the start, LJ, Captain Sexy, Aiden, and Jose. Yeah. All tried to impress Chantal, and here's everyone trying to avoid Martina. So here's Chantal, who is the girl that everyone wants, all done up, you know, high heels, nice hair, stuff like that. Here's Martina, who has bad breath and zits, and probably smells of cans in her case.
I tell you what, LJ was right on Saturday.
What's that?
She's a 10. She's a 10.
Yeah, we were lying to you if we didn't fancy Chantal Martel at the time. We're playing this as a tribute, if you like. But no, it was everyone was trying to impress Chantal.
Best moment of the match was when she got tagged in, and everybody ran in.
Including Don, Jose, Foxy, and Jordan.
Yeah, everybody ran in. Butch ran in as well.
Butch ran in.
I was listening to Low Blows last night, and Jade was talking about that point in the match too, and she said that Joe was actually meant to jump in as well, but he probably didn't because he was laughing too much at what happened.
That actually would have been so funny if Joe went on it. But he had to come all the way down from the booth where the sounds, so it's probably, I don't know if it's difficult or not to go through there, but that would have been so funny. But then again, Don came all the way from the commentary the other end of the room.
He did. So I'm gonna have to watch the on demand of that match to see what happens. Did Don just drop everything and just run?
Probably did. He dropped all his cans just to get it, you know. So, but before that, you had LJ trying to show off with his acrobatics, being called Morton Flips at one stage.
Yep.
And Captain Sexy trying to show off that he's Morton. He's Morton Hips.
Yeah.
At the time, so. But here's Darren on the other hand, who's very suspicious of Chantel.
He says Chantel has a secret. I wonder what it could be, though.
You still don't know?
I don't know. My view. There was a big gasp at the end of the match, but Justy had, Foxy had obscured my view, so I couldn't see.
Oh, okay.
All I saw was Darren and Chantel got it on.
I did see that.
They did.
Well, Darren wasn't sure if Chantel was a female or not, but it was very funny.
What?
This is Darren.
What?
This is Darren.
What?
This is Darren. This is Darren we're talking about. We're not questioning anything here. We're just calling it as it happened.
What?
But it was very funny as well when everyone was trying to talk to Chantel and Martina tried to come in and she got punched every time. But it was so. But there's so many good moments in this match. When Jose came out with the flowers.
Yeah.
In fact, it was so funny what was so funny as well. I'm not sure if you noticed this. This was right in front of us. Here's Jose giving it all. You know, he's giving it a bit of a pose, and his hips were thrusted forward while giving that look. And I could have sworn he had a boner.
2 questions.
Okay.
Why would he have a boner?
Okay.
Secondly, why would you be looking at a boner?
Because first of all, first question's easy. He has a boner because it's Chantel. And second question is when it sticks out like a sore thumb, you cannot help but notice it.
If it's the size of a thumb, he's in trouble.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Either way, he wanted it. He came out with the flowers, but somehow Darren ended up with them, much to Chantel's delight. And the match ended then when Martina revealed Chantel's face. Well, we didn't see it. We didn't see it.
I didn't.
Despite some of the crowd suggesting it was Be Cool, it clearly wasn't.
That was brilliant. There was just a quiet moment in the match, and someone yelled from the crowd, "It's Be Cool!"
You know what the worst thing was?
What?
I couldn't tell until that was mentioned.
You're not serious.
I'm not joking.
No, you're not serious.
I actually genuinely couldn't tell who. I knew it was a guy.
Okay. So let's
break kayfabe for 2 seconds.
Let's break kayfabe for 2 seconds.
I knew it was a guy, but I didn't know.
Hold on, get that elevator music on. We have to have a talk.
Do we want to?
We have to have a talk.
Wait, is elevator music necessary for this part?
Yes.
Alright, fine.
So then he tucked it back in. So do you see what I'm getting at now?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god! But again, that's when I knew. I'm like, oh, okay. But anyway, it ended then when her face was revealed. I mean, before Darren and her kissed each other, and then Aiden took advantage by cradling Darren, who was so complex with the whole thing, for the win.
I'm guessing that rule is still ongoing with Club Tropicana, by the way.
What do you mean?
They've one more loss, they're fired.
I don't think so.
Why wouldn't it change?
Well, that was only for that match.
No, but he said one more loss and you're fired.
Then though, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I think it's still going.
I don't. I
hope it is, because they said one more loss. They didn't say you need a win. They said one more loss and you're fired. So I hope that storyline's ongoing.
Well, that match. Well, it's an interesting match to have next.
And I hope it takes them all the way to the titles.
Why not?
all the way. To
and their next loss, they eventually lose before the titles.
No, they win the titles. I want them to win those titles.
But anyway, so it'll be interesting to see what they have next, because now it's the three, it's the two of them. It's Team Tropicana and Colt Cabana now against all three members of More Than Hype. So that'll
be a great match.
That's gonna be a class match. Yeah. But again, this was probably the funniest match. This is definitely the funniest match of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But the funniest match you've ever seen in Ireland?
Yep, hands down.
I'm gonna go with it too.
Yeah,
like this is way more memorable.
Yeah. And some people say, like, some people say as well that, like when you mention like if a match is funny, that obviously it wasn't good technically. It was good technically. It was brilliant. Everything about this match worked, and what they went out was to have a bit of fun in the match and add some comedy in, and they did, and it hit its target. Everything about this match was perfect. I wouldn't have changed one little bit of it.
Class show. Anyway, so Sean Guinness then, after the breakdown, Sean Guinness took on Naoki Tanizaki 1-on-1. Now, I don't know if these two are rivals in Japan. I imagine they are. But it was a very solid match, like a strong style match with plenty of near faults. It was all about, you said sorry. Like, because he pulled his hair. He pulled his hair, and then he said sorry, and then they got into another scrap outside.
Yeah.
I like Tanizami though. Tanizaki, like he's a good wrestler. He's like a mix between Tajiri and Kushida.
Yeah, I didn't mind. It's just all the baggy clothes was a problem for me. It's a very small problem, but I was too distracted by all the baggy clothes and trying to figure out what baseball shirt he was wearing as well.
Well, Japan are into their baseball.
I know.
So
yeah,
you can only guess that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Guinness who won by a cradle, which disappointed Tanizaki, who tried to attack him after. But then Don tried to come out and saying, okay, our custom here, we have a can after. And that was that. Yeah. They all drank to that, and that was that. And then the main event, Terry Thatcher against Evil Uno for the NLW title. Man, Uno can chop.
Of course he can.
Yeah, it seems like every match now that Terry Thatcher has, like he takes a beat and chops.
Oof. He took a hell of a beating. His chest must be permanently red at this stage.
Probably.
Yeah.
Very competitive match though. Good offense and charisma from Uno. Actually, I like Evil Uno. Actually, Johnny hopes he comes back. So
I do too. Yeah, I'd love to see him again in another show.
Yeah, but again, it was Thatcher who was resilient with many near falls and eventually won via his brace yourself neck breaker for the win. Mm-hmm. That was that.
Without the braces.
Yeah,
they fell off at the start of the match.
They fell off like 5 minutes into the match or something like that. So, but it's another great show. There's no contenders confirmed now until after their Slur Road show for WrestleMania 2
August.
Yeah, August 19th. So they have nothing next month.
It's a really big card that they have as well.
Yeah.
Shane Strickland, Matt Riddle, and who's the third?
Well, that's Sean Guinness advertised for it as well. But we'll see.
Sean Guinness one? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Either way, there's a lot of matches, great matches to look forward to there. So
it's interesting. Kenny Omega was doing a press call for the G1 show in America.
Okay.
And he was talking about Matt Riddle.
Okay.
And he was saying that Matt Riddle should go to New Japan because he can be the American Shibata. And I was thinking, that is some comparison.
That's a great.
It's pretty spot on as well.
Well, I'm not. Well,
he could be.
I'm trying to think how that would work, because here's the thing.
No, like his wrestling style is like Shibata's. He's like the American Shibata.
To a degree, I won't completely agree with that. Only because Matt Riddle does a lot more martial arts as opposed to Kushida, which endures a lot more high flying. As he's more of a hybrid. I don't think Matt Riddle is quite the hybrid. Yes, I don't see.
What are you saying? You're saying Kushida.
Yeah.
I said Shibata.
Oh, Shibata. That makes more sense. That makes
way
more sense.
Where did you get Kushida from?
Kushida, Shibata.
Oh, because from the WrestleRama show.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, Kushida, Shibata. Can you understand how it's a hay fever?
No, I can't understand.
It's a hay fever.
I'm giving you the week off now because that's hay fever. I'll let the hay fever.
It's both of us.
It's fine.
I'm not now going to take a break.
I'm getting my comparison right though.
You what?
I'm getting my comparisons right.
That's because you're getting them off information. I'm listening to you and I hear one thing and it's a completely different other thing.
Just go to the break.
Yeah, let's go to the break.